Hey there, friends. Have you ever felt that sudden, icy chill on the back of your neck when you're walking home alone at twilight? You know that feeling when the sun is just dipping below the horizon and the shadows of the palm trees start to look a little too much like reaching hands. Well, tonight, we're diving into one of Southeast Asia's most haunting legends. This isn't just a campfire story, it's a warning passed down through generations in Indonesia. They call her Wewe Gombel. She's not just a ghost, she's a tragedy wrapped in a nightmare, and she's looking for someone to care for. But trust me, you don't want her version of motherly love.
To understand the horror, you have to understand the woman she once was. Legend says she was a wife who couldn't have children, a deep sorrow in a culture that prized family above all. When her husband betrayed her, the grief curdled into something monstrous. She ended her own life, but her spirit refused to leave. She transformed into a Wewe Gombel, a tall, vengeful entity with long, sagging breasts and hair that looks like a tangled nest of snakes. Now she wanders the Maghrib hour, that transition between day and night when the veil between worlds is thinnest, searching for children who aren't being watched by their parents.
Meet Booty. Booty was like any other kid, a bit stubborn and currently very angry. After a loud argument with his parents about chores and homework, he stormed out of the house just as the sky turned a bruised purple. He thought he was showing them. He thought he was reclaiming his freedom. He sat by the edge of the local bamboo forest, kicking stones and wishing he lived somewhere else. He didn't notice the silence that had fallen over the village. The crickets had stopped chirping, and even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Booty was so caught up in his own anger that he didn't realize he was no longer alone.
Suddenly, a soft, melodic hum drifted through the air. It sounded like his mother's voice, but sweeter, more comforting than it had been in years. "Booty, my sweet boy," the voice whispered. He looked around, but the shadows were growing long. He saw a tall figure standing behind a thick cluster of bamboo. In the dim light, she looked like an old woman, her back slightly hunched, her arms open wide, as if offering a warm embrace. She didn't look scary. She looked like safety. She whispered that his parents didn't appreciate him, that they were mean to him, and that she had a place where he would never have to work or cry again.
Booty, feeling a strange warmth in his chest, stood up and walked toward her. As he approached, he felt a light, sticky mist wrap around his senses. The world became blurry. He reached out and took her hand. It felt cold and leathery, like old parchment, but his mind told him it was soft. She led him deep into the forest, past places the villagers feared to tread. She brought him to the top of a massive areca palm tree, to a hidden nest made of thorns and silk. To anyone else, it would look like a prison, but to Booty, under her spell, it looked like a room full of toys and golden light.
Hours passed, though to Booty it felt like minutes. Back in the village, panic had set in. His parents were frantic, calling his name, their voices echoing through the trees. With flashlights cutting through the dark, they walked right past the tree where Booty was hidden. He could see his father's face, etched with worry and tears. He tried to scream, to say, "I'm here, I'm sorry," but no sound came out. The Wewe Gombel gently pressed her long breasts against his face, a suffocating gesture of protection. She whispered that they were the villains, that they didn't really love him like she did. He was hers now, hidden by her magic. As the night grew deeper, the illusion began to flicker. Booty looked down at the sweets she had given him, beautiful, colorful candies. But as the Wewe Gombel's power wavered, he saw them for what they truly were: handfuls of mud, animal droppings, and rotting leaves. He tried to spit it out, the foul taste finally hitting his tongue. He looked up at his new mother. The kind face was gone. In its place was a creature with glowing red eyes, skin the color of a bruise, and a wide, toothless grin that stretched too far across her face.
She wasn't hugging him. She was pinning him down with her weight. He realized the true horror of Wewe Gombel. She doesn't kill you, not at first. She keeps you. She feeds you filth and hides you in the canopy of the trees, invisible to those who love you. You become a living ghost, watching your family mourn you, watching them eventually move on, while you are trapped in her loving embrace until you become a spirit just like her. Booty struggled, his heart hammering against his ribs like a trapped bird. He remembered what his grandmother told him. Wewe Gombel cannot stand the sound of iron clanging. He reached into his pocket and found his small metal toy car. With all his strength, he struck the metal toy against a rusted nail in the tree trunk. Clang, clang, clang. The sound was small, but to the spirit, it was like a thunderclap. She shrieked, a sound that wasn't human, a mix of a predatory bird and a grieving woman. The illusion shattered completely. The golden nest turned into a pile of sharp thorns. She recoiled, covering her ears, and for a split second, the veil dropped. His father, standing just yards away, looked up. He didn't see a monster. He saw his son perched precariously on a high branch, looking terrified and covered in mud. "Booty," he screamed.
The rescue was a blur of hands and rope and tears. Booty was brought down, shivering and traumatized, clutching his parents as if he would never let go. The village elders performed a ritual to cleanse the area, beating bamboo sticks and iron pans to ensure she wouldn't return that night. Booty never stayed out late again. He never argued about the little things. He knew that the world was much darker than he imagined, and that sometimes the things that offer you the most comfort are the ones that want to consume you the most. He was safe, or so he thought.
Now here is the part they don't tell you in the storybooks. You see, Wewe Gombel doesn't just give up. She marks the ones she takes. Years later, Booty was a father himself. He was tucking his own daughter into bed when he noticed she was staring at the window. "Daddy," she whispered, "who is the tall lady in the garden? She says she's my grandmother and she has candy for me." Booty froze. He looked out into the darkness, and there, standing just at the edge of the porch light, was a figure with matted hair and a toothless grin. She wasn't looking at the girl. She was looking at him. She was waiting for him to come back to her nest.
The legend says if she takes you once, you're always hers. So, the next time you're out at dusk and you hear a familiar voice calling your name from the shadows, don't look back. Just keep walking. And whatever you do, don't accept any sweets from strangers in the dark. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive into Indonesian horror. It's a bit chilling, isn't it? If you want to hear more legends like this, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Stay safe out there, and remember, she might be watching you right now. See you in the next one.